Hi guys, welcome to the video. Martin speaking, and as the title would suggest, this is my introduction to my Night Goblins. So regardless of 9th edition being around the corner, very quick note to say what a response to that video. I didn't expect A, so many views, or B, so many positive responses. I'm glad to know that the majority of people agree with me, and to those of you that didn't agree with me, then fine, that's your opinion. I've got no argument with you, each to their own, but I said what I thought and generally people agree. So anyway, let's move on from that. Let's not make every video about that. This is my Night Goblin list. I've done 2,400 point list for 8th edition. If I can use it in 9th edition, great. If I have to scale it down a little bit, great. If I have to completely change it, great, I'll play 8th edition. I've never played a game of fantasy in the current edition. Last time I played was probably 1992, and that was 2nd edition. And it was Night Goblins versus High Elves. In previous videos I've stated I've always had to collect the baddies. I have a softness for them. Growing up with an older brother meant I was always forced to be the bad guys and he was the good guys. I was looking for a fantasy army, and it was between ogres and Night Goblins. So ogres look cool. What I've read about them, they sound quite cool. And there's not many models to buy or paint, so there was a huge attraction in that sense. But then Martin being Martin, I can't just go and collect something easy. And the other option was Night Goblins, and it's the exact polar opposite to ogres. There are millions of models that you need to make a good army. And I've gone with the Night Goblins because they're too funny not to go with. The way I play 40k is I leave as little to chance as I can. Ultimately, I know it's a game of chance, it's dice rolling, but I won't take plasma weapons with Marines, for example, because on the roll of a 1, I could hurt myself. So if I don't take them, I don't have to suffer that chance. So I don't move vehicles through terrain if I can help it, because on a roll of a 1, it becomes immobilized. So I just try to avoid things like that. I try to leave as little to chance as possible in a game based around dice. So the Night Goblins are the exact opposite play style to me. It's taking me out of my comfort zone. It's making me do something different. But I think it'll be hilarious doing it. On a roll of a 1, I suffer animosity. They squabble with each other. The squigs move randomly. They're too funny not to use, and the models are great for them. So what's my list? As a verbal breakthrough, my list is a huge horde of 60 Night Goblins with spears and shields, 10 wide by 6 deep to get the horde rule, I believe. And that's going to be fronted with a full command set and Skarsnik and Gobbler. My second squad is going to be 50, which will be 10 wide by 5 deep, full command squad with a battle standard bearer. I've then got a unit of 26 archers, which is 2 rows of 13, so both can shoot. 13 is just a special number for me, so hence why I've gone with that. And there's going to be a level 4 Great Shaman, Night Goblin Great Shaman. I've then got my squigs. So I've got 2 Great Cave squigs with war bosses with great weapons, and 5 up wards, whatever the armour is that gives them that. 2 units of 20 squig hoppers, 2 units of 15 squigs with 5 herders, 2 mangler squigs, and the squig lobber. And each of those units, each of the blobs of Night Goblins have got 3 fanatics in each as well. That covers all the Night Goblins. I want to keep it themed to Night Goblins only, because that's the way I build armies. The only thing in there that isn't Night Goblins, but I couldn't not have, is I have 2 Doom Divers written into my list, because they are by far the funniest unit in the game as far as I'm concerned. So I'll do a little bit of green stuff work, and I'll give them Night Goblin hoods, so that they fit in with my army then. So what's the purpose of the video rather than me just talking through it? Basically, I've bought my first 1,000 points worth, which is an abbreviated version, plus I've got a few other bits which fit into different parts. And I just thought, I don't know how to play the game. There's a lot of you out there that do, and some of you will either criticise my list where it's obviously wrong, or give me suggestions for improvement. I've got to stress to you guys, I'm not going for an uber competitive list. This is a fun list and a themed list. I know I can put a Snotling Pump Wagon in, but I can't make it Night Goblin. Savage Orcs, Black Orcs, they're fantastic. Forest Spiders, they're all fantastic, but they don't fit with the theme. So what I am asking for, though, is some sort of, I suppose, constructive criticism and some suggestions and some help along the way. But these are Goblin sprues, Night Goblin sprues. And when we look at the minis on there, you get 20 goblins for £20. Plus you get the choice of making them archers, swords, or spear and shields. You've got your netters in there as well. Plus on the other sprue you get standard bearer, and you get your musician and champion. So for those of you out there that say that GW is too expensive and it's a rip-off, 20 models, £20, I don't think that's bad value for money. I know they're only small, but value for money, I don't actually think it's all that bad. When you look at 10 Tactical Marines is £25, fine, it's £2.50 a Marine, but they're good models. Anyway, I'm not going to start a huge big debate about price wars and GW. I don't think they're that expensive for the quality compared to other manufacturers out there and other game producers. I think what you get is actually relatively decent value for money for what you get. So I bought, if I can get them into camera, 5 boxes of goblins. So it's 100 goblins there, which initially is going to make my big unit of 60. Plus it's going to make my archers, and then I'll have some left over to start making my second unit. And that's them. That's as simple as there you go. I've got fanatics. So I've got the packet of plastic fanatics, which is just the 3 fanatics. I've also got, and I'm disappointed with myself here, I don't like metal models. I don't like the way the paint goes on them. I don't like the weight of them. I don't like cleaning them. And I bought the Whirling Death set, which is 4 fanatics. And when I bought them, I didn't realise, but they're metal. So even just the noise of them when they hit the table, I don't like. But I've cleaned them up, and they're ready to go. Don't know which one goes on where at this point, so haven't really put any thought into it. However it is, there's another 4 fanatics there. We're going to get some focus. There you go, yeah. So another 4 fanatics in metal, and they will be the only metal models in my army because they don't make them in Finecast or plastic. I've then got some squigs. So there's 5 gnarly cave squigs, these ones are called, and I just think the sculpts on them are fantastic. They're the same sculpts that were available in metal, but now they're in Finecast. They're much lighter, and personally I think the paint goes on much better as well. Yes, you have to clean a certain amount off. There's bits to clean there, he's not cleaned yet. Yes, you get some bubble holes in there. It won't matter too much on goblins, especially on squigs. I can fill them in and I can make it look right. I just like Finecast. It's not the best resin in the world. Forge World resin is better, and I would prefer it if these were plastic, but I much prefer those 5 to having the metal 5. So I've only got 1 box of those for now, so I need to buy some more of them. I've then got some normal squigs for the squig hopper set, where you get your 2 musicians with them as well, or your squig herders I should say. And again, just look at the detail in the models. They're just hilarious. Every model's different, and I just think they're such good fun. So I've got those, and there's 2 boxes of those. I've then got the Chase, it's called, which I've not actually opened that yet, but you get the little squig being chased by the Night Goblin, who's then being chased by the big squig. And when you look at it on the website, it just looks hilarious. But the reason I got this is I'm going to use him as a musician herder, him as just a different squig, because I've got so many squigs, And then I'm even going to use the little squig as a squig because he's on a normal size base, so I can get away with that. And again, I just think for £9, that's 2 squigs and a herder. I can live with that. It's a bit of fun, more than anything. What else have we got? So, Night Goblin squig hoppers. I've not opened any of this stuff really yet, guys. So I'm looking at it with you first. Wow, these are brilliant. So, squig hoppers. The camera's just caught focus, that's good. And again, they're so comical, these guys. They're just fantastic. So there's 5 in there. And then I've got another box over here, which is another 5, but it's 5 different ones. So there's 10 different ones in total. And I've got 20 in total, so there's obviously got to be duplication. I've got 40 in total, sorry. So there's obviously duplication, but you just have to live with that. I can't expect them to make 100 different models just for me. And what else have I got? Right, so I said about Great Cave Squigs. Here's the Forge World Great Cave Squig, or part of it. His jaw's missing, obviously, there, and his base is the horn on his head. And then he has a rider who sits on top with a great weapon that I'm going to give him. He actually comes with a spear, but I'm going to give him a great weapon. And again, I just think he's a fantastic model. They do a fine cast one as well, which is the standard GW one, which I'm going to get for my other one. I just haven't bought him yet. We've got a battle standard bearer. Get that focus, come on. There we go. Again, the detail, it's just amazing. And he's got a huge big battle standard, funny enough. I just love that. I just think that's brilliant. People can make their own ones, but I just, when I've seen it on the table, it just looks so cool. So that's him. And then these pieces somehow make up a Goblin Shaman. Basically, this guy's having a really, really bad day. You can see there, that's his face. He's got all sorts of magic power coming out of him. His hat's flung back, hood's flung back. He's just, I'd say he's just having a terrible day, is the only way of putting it, I think. And he's a great model, and then that's coming out of his mouth, all the extra smoke and magic power. And again, the models, I just have no complaint over the models. And there are other bits for them. I have got, what else have I bought? Mangler Squigs. These sort of sit just off each other with a few Night Goblins hanging around them if you haven't already seen them. And again, great models. I'm going to have 2 units of those in total. Who else is in here? Where did I put him? Ah, there he is. I was looking for Skarsnik. So, here's Skarsnik. He's going to be in my larger lists. He's not in my 1,000-point list, but in my larger list, he's going to be my Goblin Warlord. His hat's just amazing. Proper blinged up. Great model. And then Gobbler, who is his giant cave squig, just sits with him. I just like the way they look in a unit. The rules for them are great as well. You can't not have them, I suppose, if you're doing a Night Goblin themed list. And then last but not least for today is the Gobber, Squig Gobber. So, beautiful big piece of resin. Let's get that, there you go. And again, lovely cast. I've actually checked over that and it seems okay. Doesn't seem to be any problems with it. That's what it looks like when it's all done. And he literally bits goblins out, not goblins, squigs out. So I couldn't not have it. I don't like the colossal squig, so I've not got one of those in my list. Rules wise it's fantastic, but model wise I just really don't like the model. So that's my list, guys. Give us some feedback on what you think. This isn't a fast build that I'm going to be doing, or fast painting progress. I've got ideas. They are going to be black, surprisingly enough. I toyed with a few other colour options, but I'm going with black for the Night Goblins. The squigs are going to be a mixture of traditional orangey reds, but most of them are going to be a purpley blue. And the way I want to describe that, if any of you have seen the Beatles movie Yellow Submarine, you'll know what I mean when I say blue meanies. That's what my squigs are kind of going to look like. That's something that popped into my head when I first saw squigs, was the blue meanies with the really yellow gnarly teeth and comical kind of goblin looking faces. So I'm going to be going with a mixture of those colours into the squigs. But yeah, let me know what you think. It's been a bit of a long video. I think we're on 16-17 minutes now. But I wanted to go through the list. Appreciate if you've stuck with me watching it. And I'll start updating you as I go through them and assembling and building units. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you soon.